All right. Fun to open up with a win. Man, great crowd, just great energy. I mean, place was about packed to capacity. It felt like, and just a great ceremony to honor the team last year and the moment last year. And I thought that was pretty special having Mike Bothwell back, and even having Jalen's parents back, and just having one more moment, to honor that team, and to unveil the banner. And I thought that was pretty neat. So credit to our students. Our students showed up tonight. I thought that was really good. And that's what we want, right? If it's as we continue to build the program and continue to build the brand, if we're playing, we want this place full. In terms of the game, it's a win. It's a 16-point win. Give them a lot of credit. I thought Chad had those guys ready to play. I thought they were confident. I thought they played really, really hard. And again, I get it. You get out of these games and you're like, man, I was closer than everybody expected. And what's going on and all this stuff. Like, look, we didn't play clean. That's pretty obvious. I thought we played really hard. I did think. I mean, in all the metrics, we got 8 kills, which was good to see. We got 31 deflections. So I think the effort was there. We just didn't play clean, and we fouled way too much, and we turned the ball over way too much. And they go 8 for 21 from 3. We go 3 for 21 from 3. Not going to be many nights where Marcus and PJ go and compound 1 for 12 from 3. And but again, give them credit. I thought their last 4 minutes of the first half, I thought we had a chance to really punch it, and I think the lead was 17, and they made a run, and we had a play. We took a timeout, had a play call on, and we go 3 seconds early, and then we get the 3-point block, and then they throw it out, and they get the 3 ahead, and I thought that was a good momentum play for them going into the tunnel. But we had some guys step up. Davis Molnar, just found out he was playing today at about 4:30, and has been out of practice really for about 5 days. And for him to go out there and play the way he did in a critical moment just shows the competitor he is. I thought Cooper Bowser had a great debut. Obviously, we can see he's got a tremendous amount of potential. Marcus, I thought Marcus played really hard. I thought, obviously, he had 18 points. He made some big drives for us there late. I know, like I said, him and PJ aren't going to go 1 for 12 many nights. But to come out with a 16-point win, to deal with some adversity, and to manage all that, to get some things on film, I think it's going to end up being a net positive for us.
Coach, you alluded to it a little bit there, but I thought that when it got a little tight in the second half, Marcus driving to the basket was the key, and then he picked up that foul, and I thought Davis Moore came in and kind of finished things off, so to speak. But I just thought I was impressed with Marcus's aggressiveness tonight, to be struggling for free a little bit, but still not lose confidence in offense to go make other things happen offensively.
Yeah, we've worked on that in off season, just getting him more aggressive, driving the ball, even posting him. We posted him in the first half a couple times, and he's really worked hard at his game. He had a really big off season, just working on different areas of his game. And you think of it. Let's say he's a decent 3-point shooting night, and he goes 3 for 7. Well, now you're talking about 24 points, and instead of going, I guess 6 for 15 from the field, he goes 8 for 15 on the field. That's a really good night, and I think that's the growth that we've expected from him, and that's the growth that he's expected from himself. But he's got some versatility to him. He's strong, right? He's strong, and he can really finish around the basket. He made that nice layup going left right there off the left lane line. And, tough call on the 4th foul. That's the game. Again, I've already alluded to that. I thought we fouled a little bit too much tonight. I still don't quite understand that call, but, we'll watch it on film, and, just like a lot of times when I watch things on film, sometimes I'm wrong on a few of those, but that was an interesting call.
I thought Davis came in and finished it off.
Yeah, Davis was great. Davis was great. And, I just feel like, look, there's no secret in what we're losing and who didn't play tonight and all this stuff. Like, we got plenty, and like we got a lot of guys over there that can fill in and play. And, that's what Davis showed tonight. He's just continued to compete, and that's one of his best qualities. He's just very competitive, and we needed it tonight. He gave us a big spark.
Coach, I noticed, I kind of asked this to the players as well. You guys were shooting 39 free throws tonight. I think I read a stat where Western Carolina and Stanford were among the most free throws in the country per game last year. And I know that was the emphasis for you guys in the offseason. Is that that's something that you take as a positive out of tonight is that you guys were, while it might have been sloppy at times, that you guys were offensively aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I just, again, like we were .95 on offense for us, and, we're always trying to be well over one. You know, 1 point per possession. We were under that tonight. Had we not been aggressive at the basket, it could have gotten interesting. So, on a night where you're not shooting the ball well, you got to be able to put the ball on the floor. And that's what we talked about at halftime. We were 12 for 15 from 2. We were 1 for 12 from 3. It's like, hey, you guys all go to Furman. You're pretty smart. Figure that out. Drive the ball, put the ball on the ground. But then once you put the ball on the ground, you got to be able to play too. And that's where I felt like we struggled. Like if we had a straight line and we got all the way to the basket, it was good. I didn't feel like we always made the right decision when they brought a second defender over, and I think that those are some of the things that we're going to have to correct and clean up on tape.
Every year, when you obviously, I've been sitting here chasing football games, and you've been watching practice and going through it every day. And every year this time of year, you tell us, and it's always true. I think last year you were talking about the youth, how good he was in. Who's the guy this year, the young man we shall get to know better?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's going to be a lot of them, to be honest with you. I mean, I think you saw Marcus New type of role, his aggression tonight. I don't think you saw everything you're going to see out of P.J. Smith. I think you're going to continue to see, you saw him play hard tonight. You saw him compete, but he can really, really shoot the ball. I think there's a lot of guys that have made some big jumps, they worked really, really hard in the offseason, and I was hate to see Will got hurt tonight because he's changed his whole body. He's changed a lot of his habits, and just you can see how hard he was playing defensively. So that was a little bit of a bummer. Tyrese hits that corner three. I mean, Vanderwall. You see his competitive energy tonight, and just how infectious he is, and just the energy that he plays with. And Carter, Carter goes for double digits tonight, I believe. Carter goes 10 points. He goes 3 assists. He goes 3 for 6 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, grabs 3 rebounds. Thought Carter played well. I think he was a little bit more under control and played with a little bit more poise. And so I don't know. I think the exciting thing is there's obviously some guys that have to continue to emerge. I wish I could tell you exactly who it is, but I would tell you that we got multiple options.
Garrett was like a whole new body.
Yeah, he's got a whole new body. He's put on close to 15 pounds this offseason, which is good. He got 6 rebounds tonight. I thought he could have been a little bit more aggressive offensively to make plays, dribble ats, creating action. I thought he could have done a little bit more of that tonight, but I got to watch it and see, for him to get out of the game with just 2 points. We're going to need him to get a little bit more done offensively than that, and 0 assists. I mean, he's worked hard. He's a guy that he's really worked on his perimeter shot. He's been really confident in the offseason on his 3. I want him to be aggressive, right? And I want him to be assertive. And, I think this team needs him to be.
Coach, you had 14 steals, and every Paladin had one in your case. And so that's obviously always something this team looks for, the deflections and steals and points off the steal. You had 20 points off their members tonight. So like you mentioned, the defensive effort, team-wide. Throughout the team, even new guys coming in who've never played for you before, they get it, right?
Yeah, I think that's what was – the game was frustrating, at times. I'm not going to lie, and just because I like clean basketball and, but it was hard to be frustrated with some of them just because they were – they competed. And, I thought maybe the defensive energy dropped a little bit in the second half. I was hoping we'd come out of halftime and really sit down and, we didn't quite do that as well. But when you look at it, anytime you get 31 deflections in a game and you get 8 times where you get 3 consecutive stops in a row, but we did a lot of that in the first half. And so that's something that we got to look at and watch the tape and figure out, why did that intensity drop off there? And some of it, it's classic. You go 3 for 21 from 3 and the game gets frustrating and kind of gets in your head a little bit. I'm sure there's some validity to that, but I don't think we can really get caught up in that, But I was proud of our effort. I don't think tonight was necessarily an effort deal. I think tonight was an execution and just an understanding that yes, we got to play hard, but we also got to play clean.
There's one I wanted to look back. I know one in particular where it looked like when you saw the way Marcus was defending, he about to steal. And he got out to Davis, who got it to Vanderwall for the dunk. And it looked like it was kind of double speed, the whole sequence. I mean, ideally, that's what this team is capable of, I think, right? And then that kind of gets you excited to see stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we got to fly around. We got to fly around. And, we've got to understand that's got to be part of our identity. And, our first 4 years, we were a top 80 defense. And, one of the interesting things about last year, as historical as it was, is actually my worst defensive team analytically. And I think we were 174 in the country. And so we got to get our defense better. And we spent a lot of time on it. And I thought tonight you saw some of the pressure. I think you saw more hand activity. I think you saw, a little bit more aggression in some areas. But, hey, they were taking some dribble twos and hitting them. They hit some tough threes. That's what we got to go back and watch. There still were some breakdowns. Don't get me wrong. Like, we still got a lot to clean up. But I did think we tried to impose a little bit more defensive will than we have in the past.
I believe I'm correct to say that in many ways, where three-point shooting is concerned, you don't really consider the consequences of just here. It's all about the shot, the confidence, and being in an open position. And I'm assuming that the 3 of 21, the important thing is the shots you took. In some ways, not where they all went down, because they will go down if you take the proper shot.
Well, I think it got in our head a little bit. Just being honest, 21's a little bit of low volume for me. I like that. I would love to see a game where we shoot all free throws, layups, and threes. That's a dream game for me. And to shoot 21, I would imagine, there was a little hesitation once we started missing. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, I've always said this, like, missing's contagious, making's contagious. It's both sides of the coin. And, look, you can't always control if you make or miss shots, right? But you can control the shots you get. You can control the movement. You can control the cutting. You can control the spacing. And then you can control your preparation into that shot. And those are the things that we got to watch on film. Just out of those 21, like, was our process correct? And, it might have been. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them come to my head like, yeah, they are clean. Like, they are open. We do have room to land. They are in rhythm. But I want to watch it and get a better feel for it.
How much of that is determined by the pass, how it gets there? For instance, there was a time where there's that play where the guy drives to the basket, and then at the last second he kicks it out to the corner for the corner three. But there was a couple of times where that wasn't clean getting there, and the shot, or it ended up being a turnover. How important is that aspect of it?
Yeah, Don Meyer is one of the best to ever do it. Don Meyer used to say, former head coach at Lipscomb, every pass is a shot, every shot's a pass. And there's validity in that. Like, when I throw you a pass, like, that's a shot, because that's going to impact the quality of that shot. Like, if you throw a bad pass, and a lot of times you can't shoot that, right? A shot's a pass, right? You're taking a shot at the rim, and when you take bad shots, usually it's the first pass of the other team's transition offense. And we had that a little bit tonight, taking some tough twos contested the rim. All you're doing is throwing a pass to them to allow them to get in the transition offense. We had a couple. I can remember the one in the second half going left to right on the weak side skip to PJ. It just hit him in the ankles. And, that's a good play, but you got to throw a strike. And, for us, it's you got to throw strikes. Can't throw balls, because if you throw balls, you can't shoot them. And we got to probably watch some of that and see just some of the passing was just, it was just rushed and just excited. And that's what I'm hoping some of that was. But, I'm confident we're not going to have many nights where we go 3 for 21.
Coach, you took Marcus out after the fourth foul. I think there was about 5 minutes left or so, maybe 6. And it was not, you were in control, but it wasn't exactly lopsided like you sometimes can get in this game. But he didn't come back. And you didn't obviously have Alex, or for most of the night, and you didn't have JP. Was that a thing where you wanted to kind of see how the group that you had out there could finish this thing off? Because obviously you won by 16, so it wasn't like a meeting either. I just wondered about the decision to just maybe was it a thing where you felt in control and you kind of wanted to see what these guys could do without Marcus out there?
Yeah, I thought it was less about Marcus. It was more about the five guys out there, and I just thought they like that group. I should say the first time, but in that part of the game, I thought they brought us some energy defensively and some movement offensively, and I thought the game was as complimentary in that segment as I had felt it all night, and so I just decided to stay with him. And I was giving Cooper a hard time. He came up here the other day and he made a comment in the office. He's the most in shape player on the team. And there's 4 minutes to go. He's out there playing great, and he's asking for a sub. And I looked at him. I said, "Hey, man, like you said, you're the most in shape guy on the team, and now you're asking to come out the game." And he kind of laughed at me. And that's about the time where there was blood on the jersey, and I took the time out because I really just wanted to keep that group together. And I'm a big believer in the energy of the game, the spirit of the game, right? And like just when you get that camaraderie and when you get that flow, like don't mess with it. And I felt like we finally got some flow where like we're playing hard down here and the ball's moving down here and we're making some stuff happen on both ends, which is why I went from 6 to 16, and it was less about who was out. It was more about who was in. And at that part of the game, it was Cooper, it was Carter, it was Ben, it was Davis, and it was did I say Cooper already? Yeah, it was those, right? PJ, Carter, Ben, Davis, and Cooper. And we just made a decision to kind of stay with that group.
Yeah, I think it shows that without one of your top returners, without three of your top returners actually.
Yeah,
you put it away.
This is a balanced group.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of good players, and I've said that this preseason a decent amount. Like, last year was you kind of knew what the top looked like, and we got in a really good flow of what the rotation looked like. But a lot of guys have worked really hard to get better this offseason, and I just feel like some of this we got to continue to fight selfishness, all of us. I mean, I think that's universal. You got to buy in a team, and there's got to be a strength in numbers component for this group. Our depth's got to be real, and there's going to be nights where certain guys play more, and there's going to be nights certain guys play less. And I think if we buy into that, there can be some good value in that. If it's something that we resist, you look at these minutes. 18, 15, 35, 26, 26, 29, 19, 22, right? That's basically 8 guys, and nobody played under 16 minutes, right? Well, I think that's got to be the key to this thing this year. And I think that, go look at San Diego State last year. Go look at the box score in our game, right? Go look at Charleston and the great year they had, and go look at their box scores, right? Go look at Florida Atlantic. Go look at their box scores. If you want to be special, and I think this group has a chance to be special, I think we got a chance to have a great year. We've got to buy into that it's not like this pecking order. Like, yes, we've got some guys that got some cash in the bank per se, and we understand that. JP, when he gets healthy, he's going to play a lot. Marcus is going to play a lot, right? But you know what? The rest of it's going to come down to how are they practicing, how are they playing out there, what are they doing, how's this thing meshing together, and then if we get out there and we figure out a lineup that's flowing, then I'm going to sit on that. And I think that's what happened tonight. I got really comfortable with that group, and we decided to finish the game with it.
I know you graduated from NGU. You also played hoops back in the day?
We played hoops back then. It wasn't that long ago. You're trying to make me feel old out here.
No, but what's it like when you face off against
Yep.
the team and the fellas that you were hugging? I'm sure you probably tried to recruit some of those guys or whatever. It seemed like you had a relationship with them. But what was it like to go, the emotions for you?
Well, so Chad Lister was a coach when I played, and then Rhett, his son, was on our team the past 4 years, and so he was part of that magical season last year. As Mike Slaw and Rhett were the seniors. Rhett's now a GA at Kent State, so he had his first game tonight, and so there's a lot of family blood in that. Like Chad Lister, the head coach of North Greenville, walked out to get Rhett's ring tonight before the game. I played for Chad. My wife and I met at North Greenville, and so like that place means a lot to me. I was hugging Savion at the end. He worked camp for us, and he comes out here and goes 5 for 10 in the first half. And I told him I was going to have to deduct his camp salary this summer coming up if he comes in here and puts all those buckets on us. So we got a good laugh out of that. And then Andrew Brown, who played for us here, his brother his brother is on the North Greenville team. He was starting at the 5 for him tonight. And, so I was messing with Jacob a little bit. Brown's a Brown. They just play really, really hard, and they're dependable, and they make all the tough plays. And, Jacob was doing the same thing tonight. So a lot of cross lines. And it's neat. It's neat to see those guys compete the way they did. And, I thought they played incredibly hard, and I thought they played with a tremendous amount of confidence. All right. Well, hey, let's get this thing packed Friday. We got a great opponent coming in here, and a great program, great coach. Casey does a great job, and Belmont is, they've had a lot of success for years and years and years. And this will be a marquee mid-major game on Friday night. So, if you're in town, you got your tickets. I think there's a few left. Let's get some friends. Let's get the community out here, and let's make this a great Friday night of hoops.